Welcome back to Cartoon Analysis. I'm your host Giovanni Perez Mendez. In this video, I will be reviewing Season 3 Episode 4 of Star vs. the Forces of Evil, other known as Toffee. Let's jump right into this. Starting off, we are shown portraits of Ludo portrayed as this very loved savior of the Mooney Kingdom and how he had defeated the evil King River. In the background, we hear a children's choir singing a song of the amount of love Ludo gets from humans. The only reason they had accepted was to keep themselves from being sent into the air by the spell Levitato, cast by Ludo. Ludo then has all of his rat minions make the crowd listening below cheer after it, forcibly. Toffee then, through the wand, makes a comment about how the singers were a bit off-key. So after being told this, Ludo levitates the group into the sky. After, Ludo is played off to the next part of the castle, and Manfred manually pushes Ludo up to the next level through an elevator. He then tells a rat minion of his to set a reminder to Levitato Manfred. After, while Ludo is distracted, a mysterious rat costume disguised figure jumps down from the vents and takes out his guards. Ludo is about to be grabbed by the figure and calls Manfred through the elevator phone to receive help. He then is kicked out of the elevator and finds out the disguised person is Star. Star then continues to go after Ludo as she is looking for her dad, River. Ludo tries blasting a hole through the costume to hit Star, but she ducks and charges him. Toffee contacts Ludo again after him and Star stop fighting. So he talks while Bird and Spider capture Star. What Ludo is told is not to kill Star and have her be sent off to the dungeon. Star continues to ask for her dad, without receiving an answer. But Ludo is still cocky about the amount of power he is given, so Star tries to get Ludo to know he is being controlled by Toffee. After not being listened to, Star is then sent off to the dungeon by Bird and is locked up with a rat keeping watch of her. After Bird leaves, another disguised figure comes by, takes out the guard, and enters the dungeon where Star is. We then find out this masked person is Marco. They are both happy to see each other, and Marco unlocks her shackles. They have a beautiful moment hugging after Star is freed and the time is broken when cereal box noises are heard. Marco tells that he had brought a box of cereal which was meant for her but was eaten by him and River when they were locked up. He then goes on to say about what happened to her dad. She informs him that she already knew about it and doesn't mind at the current moment. Marco then calls down the resistance group to both of them to figure out a game plan for defeating Ludo. Rube Riot suggests a parody song he has been making to defeat Ludo's credibility, and Star has the biggest reminder of how he destroyed her life with just one song. Star then suggests they should do more things than just play pranks, along with Marco agreeing they need to have some better work done. Ludo then enters the dungeon again and captures Star using his wand. Ludo also has his rats lock the resistance up again with them keeping an eye on the resistance. Star and Ludo then enter outside to discuss the wand situation. Ludo admits he has been having issues with the wand, and Star explains why she didn't bring hers to the castle, and that's because Toffee has taken control and corrupted the wand. This scares Ludo, and Star finally realized how Toffee had entered the wand in the first place. Ludo agrees to get Toffee out of the wand, and Star uses the whispering spell again, the way Toffee had gotten in the first place. Marco and the resistance chant on their team name and the rats enter to keep them quiet. Marco is then sacrificed by the group to keep the rest alive. Before Marco is killed, Buff Frog enters taking out the guards, and Moon frees Marco. She asks for where Star is and Marco informs that Ludo had taken her. So they three leave, but also leaving behind the resistance group. Buff Frog carries them to the last castle branch before where Star and Ludo are and stops there. The two of them see the group, and we are then shown the whispering spell in action again. Before the spell is put into place, Moon tries to get her to stop, but it's too late. Moon, Marco, and Buff Frog watch as the building Ludo and Star were in blow up. The three of them go down to the destruction, finding only Ludo. Stars was put inside Ludo as he is a part of the wand since it's embedded into his hand. She can communicate through Ludo, and that is how she talks to Moon to inform her of her safety. Moon is glad to see Star is okay, but soon the connection between them dies out. The reason for this is Toffee, who appears through all the dark magic as an actual being. Toffee then interacts with the group and they triumphantly stand by and demand to have Star back. He accepts, but only if they give him his finger. Star tries communicating through Ludo's body while inside the wand to stop Moon from making the deal, and after a failed attempt swims towards Toffee to defeat him, but he uses the dark magic against her and defends himself. Through Ludo's body, Toffee receives his finger from Moon, who will only do the bargain for her daughter's life to be saved. Magic combines the finger to his hand again, and inside of the wand, Toffee makes a farewell to Star as she falls back into the dark magic, and he leaves. The group watches in horror as Toffee's body grows back along with his suit, and after, throws up Ludo outside of his body. The three of them want to know where Star is, but Toffee crushes his half of the wand and shocks and aggravates the group. Moon becomes infuriated and sad, so out of pure anger rushes Toffee, fighting them with hand-to-hand combat. Also, Eclipse's dark magic begins entering her body more and more. Finally, as a last resort, Moon tries using the spell Eclipse had taught her to try and defeat Toffee for the second time. This fails as the other half of the wand barely has any good magic left in it. Moon begins dreading of what happened to Star, but just then, Marco punches a hole into Toffee out of pure love and sadness. This doesn't work, and Toffee grows back, his skin lost. After, throws Marco at a wall nearby, knocking him out, and pushes Moon inside the ground. Returning to Star, who is swimming through the dark magic trying to reach the last little bit of regular, and swims all the way to her last breath, and the scene cuts. After Marco is awakened by Buff Frog, he walks over to Queen Moon, who is crying and putting the pieces back together of the wand, and comforts her. Star is awoken by Glossark, who is in an unknown realm making soup. After he makes her try it, Star is worried if she is dead or not and about her loved ones. Star is also upset about Glossark betraying her. Glossark then tries getting her to eat the soup again, and apparently, this is a secret lesson to get her to dip down. Magic is shown inside of the soup, and it is speculation that Glossark hid magic inside the pudding, transferring it over to him after disappearing. So it is for Star after she dips down in the magic egg contains a small unicorn that has her final transformation symbol on its body. Everything begins to turn back to normal, like the sanctuary and High Commission reviving, along with the wand floating into the air, transforming along with Star, who reappears into reality. After Star greets her mother after coming back, finds Toffee and defeats him using her new most powerful spell ever casted. After using all of her energy, floats down and is greeted by the group, who are happy to see her again. Toffee then reappears and talks like he knows he will win, but is crushed by a pillar pushed down by Ludo. Everyone understands he is most likely dead, and right after Moon rushes to Eclipse, noticing her magic through her veins are appearing more. Ludo makes a farewell to Star, who wants to go back to the void and sadly says goodbye to Bird and Spider. Star shows sympathy and along with throwing him in, gives him chips with her brand new wand. River then comes back riding eagles along with the singing choir, who are happy to sing about their real leader. Apparently, while he was gone, River was made the new leader of the eagles also. River then asks for where Moon is, but the group then realizes she had left. Moon is then seen rushing to the crystal and rhombulous dimension containing Eclipse, and is glad to see it is still intact, meaning she didn't escape. But after she leaves, Eclipse's crystal cracks because Toffee has been defeated. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and turn on bell notifications for this channel. Leave a like and comment down below your thoughts and opinions. Finally, share this with your friends and family to help Team Analyzer become stronger. I am your host Giovanni Perez Mendez, signing off.